Okay, we are live. Andy, thank you sincerely. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rainey. I'm the proud mayor of the great city of Peekskill, New York. And today is September 21st, 2021. I am joined with my awesome city manager, Mr. Andy Stewart. Good afternoon.
Good after. Good. How you doing, Mayor? I guess we
Dude.
just got into the afternoon here, didn't we? Looks like it's been a long day already.
Absolutely. And we are here doing what we've been doing every week for a little over a year and 5 months now. Giving you a weekly update on where the city of Peekskill stands with the COVID numbers. And we decided to give you a little bit more than just the COVID numbers and where we are, but a little bit of information on what the city is doing. So without further ado, Andy, I'll let you take it over. Let us know where we are at the numbers and the vaccines, and we'll go from
Start
there.
with the numbers. So the case rate, the positive case rates that the Westchester County Data Portal is offering us right now is 72. It's been going up. It was 62 last week, about 60 before that, down to 53, 46. And of course, back in June, July, it was in the single digits. So this is the Delta variant coming back. Of course, most people who are getting sick are unvaccinated. And that's why the next number really matters, which is our vaccination rate. People over 12 who've had at least one shot, 75.4. Congratulations, residents of the city of Peekskill. That number coming up. It came up a whole percentage point since we announced it a week or so ago, and it's been coming up a little bit every single week. So that's great that people are taking advantage of the free vaccination services. They're pretty much available all over the place now.
Absolutely. And I do want to say thank you to everyone. There's different organizations. I know the school district held one, and the Sun River Healthcare held one. These mobile vaccination stations too. So thank you to everyone and
So
the people who I
how
did
can we
mention.
get to 95% is the question. Actually, the city council was talking a little bit about that last night.
Yeah.
The council has said, hey, we're interested in supporting vaccination promotion, and we have a nonprofit organization which we're looking to work with. We're going to talk more about that on Monday.
Hmm.
Uh, it's called Neighbors Link, and they can do outreach to groups of people who might need a little extra support in finding out about vaccination services and getting that done for themselves and their families and their particularly their coworkers, businesses, and others that have groups of people there.
Absolutely.
We certainly don't want to return to the bad old days of limited capacities in restaurants and events and so on. Here in the city, we're requiring masks of everybody who comes to the door. We still have our temperature check, and when we have our in-person meeting for the Common Council in the chambers, we're limiting it to 50% capacity, which is still recommended by the CDC. Um, on that note, just as a reminder, we're providing for hybrid meetings going forward of the Common Council. Bear with us, it's a little bit new on the technology front, enabling public comment from remote and in the room, and making sure the people who are remote can see the people in the room, and the people in the room can see the people who are remote. And if the city council member needs to be remote, it all works both ways as well. So we're doing that for the first time this coming Monday. So keep your fingers crossed. Uh, Bear with us. We've got a nice little team.
Repeat that real fast. Keep your finger. Repeat that part.
Bear with us. Keep your fingers crossed.
This will be the first time we've actually ever done a hybrid meeting. So, um, uh, hopefully, I know Mike Miner has been really working hard to get everything in order. So hopefully it works out. So if there are any issues or any glitches, again, please bear with us. For the most part, I think we'll be all right.
We're trying to make it convenient for residents who want to participate in the meeting. And if they have a health issue or something like that, they don't want the exposure. So that's understandable. And that's according to state law. The state passed a law basically enabling um, these legislative bodies to meet remotely. But this city council wanted to have hybrid meeting, meet in person and remote at the same time. So
Right.
we can do that. It just takes a little extra hardware and software and brain power.
There you go. So there's a lot going on, but I'm glad that our numbers are getting, or I say percentages of vaccines are getting better. That's great to hear. A lot of people are out there getting the vaccination, so that's great. All right, thanks for that info too.
So speaking of kids, I know that the mayor saw a whole lot of kids this morning.
Yes, I actually got to bring my son to school this morning over at Oakside, and I was joined, or I should say, I joined Daryl Francis, Dr. Mauricio, and many other men of our community that were there. Andy said he was there too. Kind of Legislator Colin Smith was
Beautiful.
there. Councilman Ramon Fernandez was there. A few of the our local clergy was there. Firefighters were there, and some of the police
Firefighters were there
officers were
too.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with the fire truck.
it was a really really great initiative that believe Daryl Francis from the youth borough came up with the idea to go to different schools, different days of the week to pretty much welcome the kids, clap the kids and welcome the kids and wish them all a wonderful day and successful school year.
It's
It was
beautiful. Actually,
really
it's
great.
literally they rolled out a red carpet down the sidewalk. So the
Yeah.
kids and their parents coming for the drop off walked down a red carpet, getting applause. Senator Harkin was there. Other
Senator
people,
Harkin was there. Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
ready to cheer him on. They're taking pictures with the school principal and family members, and it was just really nice celebration of this such an exciting time of year for the school and all these
Yeah.
families.
I have to say, I like how Oakside did it because they know that parents come from different areas. They have like
Mhm.
four different entrances. So they have the main entrance, the side entrance over by where the farm area is, and they have the Belden Street entrance as well. And so they had all of the men separate and go to four different entrances. So every child that came in school can get a warm welcome. So I thought it was amazing. But yeah, it was definitely great. Thanks to the youth borough and to the Peekskill City School District. That was awesome.
Yes, I wanted to mention that. Thank you. Um,
Well, while we're on it, I just want to mention one more thing since we're talking about the youth from school district. Peekskill City School District is hosting a job fair Saturday, September 25th, 2021, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Peekskill Middle School cafeteria, which is 212 Ringgold Street in Peekskill, New York. And they'll be performing on the spot interviews for many vacant certified and classified positions, including full-time, part-time, and per diem substitute positions. So they ask that you please bring a cover letter and your resume with you if you're interested in applying for a position. And if you have any questions, you can always call 914-737-3300 and use extension 1550. That's 914-737-3300 and use extension 1550. Or if you don't have access to a phone or a cell phone, you can just email them at personnel, which is PERSONNEL at peekskillschools.org. That's personnel, PERSONNEL at PEEKSKILLSCHOOLS.org. Personnel at peekskillschools.org for any more information. And we encourage the teenagers and young adults, especially, to go there. If you need any help with resume building, you can definitely reach out to my office. But please try to make it. It's this Saturday. I'm sorry, Saturday the 25th. Yep, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
So there's a lot of important things going on in Peekskill. We often talk a little bit about weekend events when we talk, Mayor. I just want to give kudos once again to Ray Blue and his jazz musicians who were out on this past Saturday. It was beautiful in Pugsley Park, right after the farmers market there. I was roaming around with a child that I babysit for, and she had a great time. There was also wonderful music. A young man playing the blues, a stone electric guitar on Esther Street. We sat right there and listened to him. It was really special.
Mhm.
So Peekskill was hopping, and there was music in the gazebo as part of the Ozland Festival. So right at the corner of Division there, it was really an amazing kind of cultural weekend in the city of Peekskill. There's some good stuff coming up for this weekend as well. Just wanted to mention going forward, uh, the Hudson Valley Irish Festival, a big event. It's the 12th annual, is down in the Riverfront Park on Saturday. So please come out and support that.
Nice.
While I'm hitting some event information, I also just wanted to mention that this is a special event for a lot of us. It's far more prosaic than some of these fun things. But the bulk trash pickup for the West Side is tomorrow, and so just as a reminder to folks, we got that
Thank
on Facebook.
you. I just want to try to interrupt. I've gotten a lot of emails from a few people who've been watching the weekly update saying thank you, and I want to say thank you too because I always forget when boat trash comes, and I
It's
notice it
hard
when
to
I walk
remember.
outside and see everybody else stuff like I didn't bring anything out. Yeah, so but
It
thanks for
is hard
doing
to remember. Usually we look to see what our neighbors are doing, and that's your clue that it's time to clean.
that.
But if one person gets the day wrong, boy, it can send the whole street off. So
Yeah, that's for
we
sure.
made it happen to me.
Quality of life, quality of life. But yeah,
So
thanks for mentioning
so
it.
yeah, so that's something that's happening. Um, let's Let's see what else. Check in with recreation. Obviously, the Kylie Center's open. Anybody can down there after school. People are welcome to come into the building and use the facilities. Uh, I want to mention also check the city website for job openings in the city. Right now, there's an opening for a water and sewer maintenance worker, grade 2. If you're, it's a civil service job, obviously, but please contact the HR department if you are interested in that. I think we're actually still looking for a planner for the planning department. I don't see that on our website right now, but I don't think we found one yet, so that's still open as well. So there's some of the things that we wanted to chat about, Mayor.
Absolutely. Um, and for the people to know, we had the council did discuss. For those who may have saw the meeting, the council did discuss over the course of the month of October. We're going to dive into our budget for this year. We're going to look through the city managers and staff's budget presentation and have some of those discussions. So people who are interested, you could tune in. A lot of those, I'm assuming, most of those meetings will either be um, virtual or hybrid.
Yeah, they'll be virtual, but full public access on TV, streaming on the internet, and so on.
Okay, good, yeah.
And these are special meetings for budget discussions with department heads, so you get a pretty granular view of what goes into budgeting for, say, the police department, or the fire department, or the public works, or the clerk's office, something like that. So they'll all make their presentations. We've been working really hard on those presentations, and the city budget's coming together nicely. The tentative budget from my office is due on October 1st. So you're going to see that soon. And then we're going to have these series of presentations, and the city council has to finish its work by the end of November, early December. So we look forward to, that's a really busy time for the city and all the departments.
Trust, yeah, very busy. Also, and the last thing I wanted to bring up on my end was we did discuss a little bit about the marijuana and dispensaries in the city of Peekskill. I know we put a survey out on. Members of the council last night said that a lot of people have not seen this survey or they didn't know about the survey. So, to the people who are watching these videos, I mean, if you know any other platforms that we're not reaching, or if you're in, I know a lot of us in Peekskill have a lot of different social media, Facebook groups, or I mean, I think almost everybody now has some sort of a cell phone, whether it's an old phone or iPhone or a smartphone. Contact people, text people, email people, call people, let people know that the city's interested in their opinions on dispensaries in the city of Peekskill. We don't want to postpone the conversation too much longer. We are going to refer to the planning department now, but we would love to hear your voice and concern and your opinion on the city of Peekskill having a dispensary. There are some cities in the area in Westchester that have opted out of doing it, but there are also some cities that have not opted out. And there are some cities that we're aware of that hasn't decided if they're going to opt out or stay in. But the city of Peekskill, as Councilman Fernandez said last night, and Councilman Douglas mentioned, we would love to hear from the community a little bit more.
And we are setting a public hearing on October, another opportunity for the public to learn about that issue and also to make any comments they might have.
Right, right. And that's again, the community support is definitely community opinion and input definitely something the council wants.
So I'm sure there'll be a healthy debate. People are for and against and so on.
Yeah, there was some good comments last night for the council that's for it, and the council who's not for it, and for the council who's just kind of like still trying to figure it out. But I think some of the concerns, I think if some of the concerns were addressed in a way that benefits the community, I think a lot of people will probably be on board. But some of those same concerns I have as well. So, but I do think that we'll be better off if we opt in or stay in, I should say. So, what else you got on your list, Andy? That's all for me today on
I
mine.
just wanted to mention there's also this, we do a lot of legislative work, kind of amending local laws as the need arises. And one of the ones which is up for amendment is whether or not you can smoke in parks. And most communities have prohibited it. The city council asked staff to put together an amendment to the local law. We've had our public hearing on that. The community had a chance to speak, a lot of comments in support of prohibiting smoking, and that will get that will go forward for a decision ultimately in the next couple of weeks. So people can continue to comment on that. That's up for another public hearing, I believe.
Yep. I urge the community to comment on that. Let us know how you feel. I've definitely voiced my opinion on a number of occasions, but I urge the community to let us know how you feel about smoking anything in parks. It's not necessarily a lot of people are trying to make it seem as if it's triggering marijuana smokers, but it's any smoker, any smoke, period. So let us know how you feel.
Thank you. Yeah, there'll be a public hearing on October 12th for that as well. So, so there's that. The other thing I wanted to mention is really important is this Monday, the city council will vote to appoint a new chief of police. The our outgoing Chief Halmy gave some really amazing remarks at the over the last meeting or so. He said we had him on this interview a week or so ago, reflecting on his 22 and a half years. Um, the new chief, current Lieutenant DeLucci, is taking over. He's amazing, and he's really very well known in this community, having served over 20 years in the police department. We're all very much looking forward to working with him as the new chief of police.
And he joined us for his first meeting without the chief last night,
Yeah.
which is great.
So his perspective is very valuable, and he's been around. So
Absolutely.
forward to work with him. He talked about his priorities as far as the police department, the police reform process, diversification of the ranks, and so on. All a lot of important topics to push forward on in the coming year. Plus, we talked about dirt bikes, right? Talking about a policing issue. There are people who are roaming around the city streets on unregistered, unlicensed, and rather noisy small motorcycles, often violating various rules of the road. We've been getting a lot of complaints about that, and we're looking to tighten up on our enforcement of that. The police, if they catch people, they will impound those vehicles, and there are fines associated with it. And we're going to look at increasing the enforcement and also the fines in the local law related to that as well, because it really has become a nuisance and it's dangerous. I mean, we really worry about young people getting hurt when they're being reckless on those bikes.
Right.
So I just want to mention that that was one of the topics that was discussed last night.
All right. Sounds good. So put a lot of information in there
Oh,
in
and
12 minutes.
yeah. And lastly, of course, we talked about affordable housing. Again,
Oh yes.
this law has a lot of different pieces to it. It's ready to go over to the planning board with the local preference language in it, which is great. And so we'll get comments back from the planning board and hopefully finalize it after
Yes.
that.
And I want to encourage people to listen into these planning board meetings. You can come, you can watch from home, listen into these planning board meetings. They're a really great group of minds together that really try to work to push the city forward in a positive way. This preference thing that we've been speaking about for a while now, it was brought to my attention by Councilman Douglas, and the preference is basically stating that um, in the affordable units that are created in the city of Peekskill, whether 10%, 20%, or 30% of every development, can the affordable can the residents of Peekskill get preference to those units? Can the residents of Peekskill who are in the city of Peekskill having issues with rent burning, or just need a little bit of assistance? That the preference is hopefully going to allow that 10, 20, or 30% of units get preference to residents who actually live here. So there may be some issues with approving that as far as funding from the state and the county and other and the higher ups, but we're looking into it now. And again, the planning department, the planning board is going to review some of these concerns, and hopefully more of the people will actually come to meetings and listen and voice their concerns and also see what the discussions are like. It's valuable to get your input. And again, the preference is, to me, one of the most important conversations we can have. I do believe that if you put a building up and you have 75% of affordable units and none of your residents can get access to it, I don't know if we're actually helping the actual people in our community that are suffering from rent burden. So I would encourage people, again, come to these meetings, or at least listen to these meetings, watch these meetings from home, send your email information about any concerns or questions you may have, and we'll try to get them answered.
Thank you, Mayor. I think that about wraps up our topics for today. I'm seeing one question from Facebook. Basically, what is the next step on the affordable housing law? And that we just said is a referral to the planning board for comment. After that, the city council will consider comments in a public hearing and then have a vote.
Absolutely.
So that's the next step. So I think we're done here, Mayor.
Okay. Do we have any online questions or
Um,
anything that we haven't touched?
Unless my machine here is too slow, I'm not seeing um, questions. Are you?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Well, listen, Andy, thanks again to the City of Peekskill. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure, again, you let people know about the public hearings that we have coming up and try to get people to participate. And I look forward to seeing you all same time next week. Andy, have a good
Thank you.
afternoon, my friend.
Take care now. Bye bye.